the deification of mankind and a prophecy for this generation. And these are two passages I read today, and I wanted to share them with you for those who are interested. The deification, having the explanation coming from the New Testament from St. Peter, the disciple of Christ, to Peter from the Orthodox Study Bible. Deification. Deification is the ancient theological word used to describe the process by which a Christian becomes more like God. St. Peter speaks of this process when he writes, "As his divine power has given to us all things that pertain to life and godliness, you may be partakers of the divine nature." Peter 1, verse 3 and 4. Now, what does it mean to partake of the divine nature, and how do we experience this? To give an answer, let's first address what deification is not, and then we'll describe what deification actually is. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. What deification is not. When the Church calls us to pursue godliness, to be more like God, this does not mean that human beings become divine. We do not become like God in his nature. That would not only be heresy, it would be impossible. For we are human, always have been human, and always will be human. We cannot take on the nature of God. St. John of Damascus makes a remarkable observation. The word God in the scriptures refers not to the divine nature or essence, for that is unknowable. God refers rather to the divine energies, the power and grace of God that we can perceive in this world. The Greek word for God, theos, comes from the verb meaning run, see, or burn. Theos, theoris, theos with the eyes, seeing with the eyes. These are energy words, so to speak, not essence words. In John 10:34, Jesus, quoting Psalm 81:6, repeats the passage, "You are gods." The fact that he was speaking to a group of hypocritical religious leaders who were accusing him of blasphemy makes the meaning doubly clear. Jesus is not using God to refer to divine nature. We are gods in that we bear his image, not his nature. What deification is. Deification means that we are to become more like God through his grace or divine energies. In creation, humans were made in their image and likeness of God, Genesis 1:26, according to human nature. In other words, humanity by nature is an icon or image of deity. The divine image is in all humanity. Through sin, however, this image and likeness of God was marred, and we fell. When the Son of God assumed our humanity in the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the process of our being renewed in God's image and likeness was begun. Thus, those who are joined to Christ through faith in holy baptism begin a process of recreation, being renewed in God's image and likeness. We become, as St. Peter writes, partakers of the divine nature, Peter 1:4. Because of the incarnation of the Son of God, because of the fullness of God has inhabited human flesh, being joined to Christ means that it is again possible to experience deification, the fulfillment of our human destiny. So that's the meaning of life for humans, to be fulfilled and united with God in divine union. And this is the deification meaning. Being joined to Christ means that it is again possible to experience deification, the fulfillment of our human destiny. That is, through union with Christ, we become by grace what God is by nature. We become, quote unquote, children of God, John 1:12. His deity interpenetrates our humanity. Historically, deification has often been illustrated by the example of a sword in a flame. The steel sword is thrust into a hot fire until the sword takes on a red glow. The energy of the fire interpenetrates the sword. The sword never becomes fire, but it picks up the properties of fire. By application, the divine energies interpenetrate the human nature of Christ. When we are joined to Christ, our humanity is interpenetrated with the energies of God through Christ's glorified flesh. Nourished by the body and blood of Christ, the Holy Eucharist that is, we partake of the grace of God, His strength, His righteousness, His love, and are enabled to serve Him and glorify Him. Thus we, being human, are being deified. So that is the deification passage that I wanted to read to you. And then another very nice passage I opened up at random from True Life in God. And let me get to it. A message of November 24th, 1991. It's from our Holy Mother. My child, I am the only mother of all mankind. Every single one of you is my child. In the end, everyone will accept this truth. Those who sincerely love God now will accept it. Never cease praying, my child, for the conversion of the world. Understand that the more prayers I obtain, the less evil will be promulgated. Prayers are never wasted. I offer them to the Father, whose justice is at hand. Pray to obtain God's mercy. And I just want to, I'm not finished reading it, but I just want to state that the recent new saint of the Christian Orthodox Church, Saint Paisius, the elder of Mount Athos, said that the chain that will bind up Satan, and by extension all his minions, is the rosary, the praying the prayer beads to our Holy Mother. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. That's the prayer. So this is what he says is the chain that will bind up Satan. She is a co-redemptrix of mankind. Not that she is equal to Christ. That is by no means true. That would be heresy to say that. But she is very close to him and able to bring her prayers for him to hear them. Now, it says here in this, as we were reading, you do not know what God has reserved for this evil generation, but have in mind how in rebellious times his hand fell on sinful men, and that was then a fraction of what he has now in store for you. His justice will respond from his holy abode in accordance to the sins of this generation. He will come with fire, thunder, hurricane, and flame of devouring fire to burn up the crimes of the world. No, you do not know what the Almighty has reserved for you to purge mankind. The signs are there all around you, but few see or notice them. Innocent blood is shed for my sons and daughters for Satan. This innocent blood is offered like a holocaust to the evil one. Satan's plan is to strip this world from its creation, annihilate you all, and engulf you all in flames. He wants one big holocaust out of all of you. I shout, I cry out, I shed tears of blood, but few pay attention. God will be coming to you, but you do not know in which way. Your prayers can change the world. Your prayers can obtain God's graces for the conversion of sinners. And the more conversions, the more prayers will be made and heard for other conversions. Do you understand? Prayers are powerful. This is why I insist of you not to abandon your prayers and your sacrifices. The faithful are needed now more than ever. Of course, sacrifices are fasting if we can and good works. Fasting usually Wednesdays and Fridays. God will remember all your sacrifices. My dearest children, love him and glorify him. The church shall revive in all her glory. And that's it for us who are trying to be good people and care about life and this world. All prayers are heard by our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for supporting me. And please leave your comments if you like. God bless you all. Thank you.